button use add action listener, and then we can use an interface name new action listener, and pretty much you need to import action listener in right there under Java AWT event action listener. And this one we don't need it, we didn't use action event. So, and then you have to, this is an interface, meaning that you need to add unimplemented methods, which is action performed. That if you don't have Eclipse or any IDEs that can do this, you just type the add override public void action performed that action event E, which is going to import action event E in. Right, and then you can start to type, like for example, we want to show the result on JOption pane dot show message dialog, and then the total of two number is, I just copy this from this console version, but the difference is num1 now is not a string, it's the text field, so I need to use the method getText to return a string, and it's parse change to an integer. Then we can sum that. So now we pretty much done. We can just test that 5, 6, so the sum is 11. So this is the Swing version and console version. So let's look at how we're going to do with JavaFX version. In JavaFX, so we're going to do new class like fx, right, sum. So we are extends application, right? So we import application. Now first, your project must be set up to support JavaFX. Alright, so I let Eclipse set up for you. So by hitting the fix that, so it's import application, and now extend application. Now it has to implement start. Okay. So the exception is not necessary, and then the argument is stage, primary stage, right? So if you compare back to Swing, this is a class named JFrame. That's why you have a constructor, and you call that constructor to create this whole thing inside the main, right? But console pretty much everything inside the main, right? Now for JavaFX, this application, if you really look at JavaDoc, this is a class, it's abstract class, right? But for Swing, if you look at JavaDoc of JFrame, this is a class, it's not abstract class, right? So in CSC201, you will learn what is abstract class, what is, well, you already learned what is class, but it meaning that some method can be an abstract. Like here, if you look at start, I'm looking for the method name. Like start is an abstract. See abstract. When you have keyword abstract in font, it's an abstract. Like we talk about statics, right? So this is an abstract method. And you learn that more in 201, which meaning that this method have not been implemented. Just like similar to an interface that we did in Swing. Like action listener, if you look at action listener, like JavaDoc, this is an interface. You start to learn that there are class, interface, and abstract class. Like interface are the methods here. They aren't same abstract, but they are abstract. You don't have to all the methods in the interface are abstract, meaning that no implementation. And let the user implement, just like start. That's why we have to do an override to make sure we override that abstract method. And now we start to implement, right? So in JavaFX, when we implement, okay, so we start with adding all the, let's see if we can make primary stage dot show, right? So that's the thing that we want, and run it and see if we can see. In JavaFX, in Swing, we have to call constructor. So in JavaFX, main is not necessary if you use the console like command line to run JavaFX on this. But if you use GUI, IDEs, then you have to do launch ARGS, right? There you go. So we get a primary stage. Now we start to create text field, right? We can do the same num1, right, equals to new text field. We want to create label too, right? Label equals to new label. And just need to import this from JavaFX. And the label pretty much just the text that we want to add in to the contents. So I'm going to use the same. This is like compared to JLabel right here, right? So now we need to create a scene just like we create a JPanel right there. So, and the dot show is just like set visible, right? Which I can make it add in, right? And scene just like when we do Swing, we use JPanel, right? New scene, right? And like scene, we're going to import, right? Now it's pretty much just looking for like the layout, right? So in JPanel, default layout is flow layout. If you look at this, it's just adding as a flow. I add label first, text field second, num1, text field second, num2, and a button, right? And then it's just like a flow, right? So it's stacked on each other if the size is small, right? The width of the panel. So in JavaFX, we pretty much just need to set, this is using a scene. So we have layout. So new, if we want to do VBox, we just need to import VBox. This is vertical box. So it's going to stack like the one that I see here. I show you on this one, like it's vertical. So like vertically, first, second, third, fourth. So I'm going to pretty much add them, right? Add. So zine dot. One second. How do we add? So in panel, we just say panel.add, right? In Swing, we say panel.add, right? So How do we add label to the scene? We actually want to add to the layout. Then this one we have to create layout as an instance in state, right? So we will say v box equals to new v box, and then we pass in v box right here, right? And then we can just add to the layout. Okay, it's get children first, and then dot add, right? And then you can do add one by one, or then you can do add all. Add all, just do at once, like label, comma, num1, comma, num2, and we need a button. So let me just add the button now. Button, right? Button equals to new button, and this is the calculate button. So you may start to see the difference a little bit here. We can set layout for this too. You can do new layout inside here too for JPanel, like new. But you just say the border layout, there are many type of layout like that too, right? Or flow layout. By default, it's flow layout, and then import. That's the same way, right? You set layout. So in effect, we set layout. But this one, since we're not adding to the scene, we're adding to the layout. That's why we just do the instance instead and pass instance in, right, to the scene. Now we add them all, and now we have to make sure that primary stage has a scene. So we need to set the scene right to the primary stage, which is scene. Let's see if we can see the, there you go. So we see this is label, text field, and the buttons, right? Now, of course, this action has to be added to the button, which we do the same. We just do dot set on action, right? And then this one you can shorten by using e lambda to replace that interface, right? New action listener, like that thing. Which you don't have to do e lambda. You can do the same if you want in here, but e lambda just make it short and easier, and then you understand that whatever you want it to be, just go here, right? So you can make a pop-up dialog now, right, by using alert and equals new alert, right? Import that. This is like the option pane, right, to show that, and this is has to alert type, right? Information, and then we can say alert dot. So we want to pop up dialog to show and wait, right? So, but you want to set the contents, right? Set content type, and then technically we want to do this, right? Same thing here, which the same thing here, right? But this version I already do get text, which we have to get text the same. So that's why I come to copy this part. Then it's going to set the text. Add